Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I thought I would talk a little bit through my weight loss journey and I guess also review the app Lifesum. I guess we should start at the beginning, what drove me to download Lifesum. So mid-November I guess I was probably at the heaviest I've ever been. So I'm 5 foot as well, that's probably something to point out. I am rather short and I was like I wear like a lot of size 12 clothes and they really weren't like fitting so well, like they were really uncomfortable, and I didn't want to accept the fact that I was probably turning into a size 14, and also, you know, like I didn't want to buy like a whole load of clothes, and that's where I got to the stage where I was like, do you know what, I'm not happy with this and I'm gonna change it. And I guess that's probably my best dieting tip is, if you want to do it, you'll do it, I guess, because I think there's been plenty of times where I've sort of said like, I'll be good, and I really hate that terminology in regards to food, but like, oh, I'll do better, I'll be more conscious. But unless you really want to do it, or at least if you can't hold yourself accountable and stay motivated, I don't think you will until, you know, you wake up one morning, which is what happened to me. Like I woke up one morning, I was like, do you know what? I'm not happy with this situation, so I really am going to do something to change it. And so what I did is I just sort of, I actually think I watched a few YouTube videos, and one of them I watched was by Jen Im, who, she did some sponsored work with Lifesum. So, and I knew it was sponsored content, but it was a free app and I thought, why not download it, right? And before, I have dabbled with MyFitnessPal, but I never really used it. I think I downloaded it for a couple of days and then I deleted it. It was just something that I didn't integrate well into my life, and I don't know if that was necessarily where I was at the time or the app itself, but either way I thought, you know what, let's download Lifesum, let's do this thing. And so, as I've mentioned, Lifesum is an app, and I downloaded it mid-November, as I say, when I downloaded it, because I know I bought the full version. You sort of sign up for a year membership. I bought it on Black Friday, or like around Black Friday, so I got it for half off. They have a free version where you get some features, and then you get the full version where obviously, you pay for a version, this yearly subscription, which you get all the features for. So what you do is you take a little quiz, you sort of answer a bunch of whole questions sort of about like your lifestyle, like it's how much you drink, how much fruit and veg you eat, how often you exercise, if you follow a particular diet, which, by the way, I have mentioned it before, but I am a vegan. You answer a bunch of questions and you put in your weight. So I'm not gonna lie to you, but I did lie to my app. I was 11.5 stone when I downloaded Lifesum, and I'm now 10.5 stone. But I lied to my app because I was honestly ashamed of how much I weighed. Not ashamed, that's maybe too strong, but I wasn't well, as I said, I wasn't comfortable with how much I weighed, so I didn't put it in the app. I said that I was 11 stone when in actual fact I was 11.5. Anyway, so then you get a score. It's called like life points. And each week when you enter stuff in, either goes up or down with how sort of good you've been. So basically what Lifesum is, it's a calorie counting app. And I'm not gonna beat around the bush, and I'm not gonna paint it for something that it isn't. And I'm very aware that for certain people, calorie counting is detrimental to your mental health, and I'm not going to, I really don't want to recommend this to somebody who it isn't intended for. I don't want somebody on my recommendation to get really ill, and I feel a social responsibility to be honest and say what it is, but also to say that it has worked for me. And you know, I am talking about having not maybe the best relationship with my body at the beginning of this, but it was all in good faith, and I don't know, I feel, yeah, that I have a social responsibility to say that, hey, this is a calorie counting app, no matter how many bells and whistles it has, that's what it is. And this has helped me with losing weight, which is what my aim was. It does also ask you what your intentions are and why you think you've got to a place that you are, which, by the way, I remember putting in that, like, my social life, because a lot of my social life is going out and eating food with friends, like that's, and you know, my boyfriend and my family, like that's how I think a lot of people socialise, and due to my schedule and stuff like that, like meal planning and meal prepping isn't always an option for me. But yeah, anyway, it is a calorie counting app. That's what it is. If you think that that is something that will help you, great. If you think that is something that you will think will have negative effects in regards to your mental health, then forget about it, right? There's a few other tips, there's stuff that I've learned that I'm going to be sharing in this video. So if you feel like that, here's the tips and stuff that I've learned, and yeah, I hope everybody understands where I'm coming from with this. Anyway, so initially I had the free version, but then I did end up buying the yearly subscription for it, which I would recommend. I believe when you first download it, you've got like 2 weeks or something and you get some money off. And I would recommend it. Yeah, so basically what you do is you have like, you can see here, it sort of says like about my goal weight, it tells me to update my weight, which by the way, I don't do as often as you should, which I believe I asked you to do it once a week, but I don't personally own scales. My boyfriend has scales, but they're a bit dodgy, and my parents have scales, so I am in the vicinity of scales once a week, but in all honesty, I don't add it to it every week because I forget and stuff like that. So again, that's I guess something I could improve on if I wanted to be even more focused on losing weight. And as you can see, my goal weight, it is 9 stone, which we'll see. We'll see how far that goes. And I haven't added anything in today, and I haven't added my water intake, which I guess is something that this has also really helped with. So this water bottle here, the Camelback Eddy, I know I have recommended this one before. You know, I am literally like one step away from being like one of those gym boys that carries around a 2-litre bottle. This one is the litre bottle, which really does help me drink 2 litres of water a day. So I've actually already drank a whole litre, so I'll just plonk that in right there. You're doing great, thanks. And then you've got a vegetable tracker and a fruit tracker. Now, again, I feel like this is probably a bad day to do it. But what I've done is I had Papa John's last night. So again, like I'm gonna be honest. So if I go pizza, I had some leftover for breakfast this morning. And I guess this is maybe one of the issues is you can veggie pizza, Papa John's. Now, again, this is where I reckon, because I had 2 like small slices left, so I'm gonna go veggie pizza, which is not completely accurate. So yeah, that's how you add stuff in. You're also able to have like favorites, so if there's stuff that you have regularly or you've put in before, like, and you can also have meals that you've made before. So as you can see here, I've got Jan chili and March Caribbean curry. So this is stuff that I have made at home, and you can add all the recipe into it and sort of say how many portions it makes, and then it calculates everything. So if I click that, it says like I do 8 servings, and then I've added in all the ingredients to it. So I find that really helpful, which I know with the free version you can only add 1 recipe, whereas if it's, yeah, so if you have the full version you can add multiple. And yeah, what I do is sort of like, this is what I used in my Caribbean curry in March. So for those portions I will add that one and I'll make another one, etc. Haven't actually had lunch yet. Oh my god, it's quite late. Anyway, but yes, this is what it looks like. So it keeps at the top the calories that you've eaten, the calories that you've burned, how many carbs, protein and fat. I'll actually have to go back 2 days because I don't think I entered anything in yesterday, which is also bad. So you can sort of see here when I'm going through, like, these are the days where what I've eaten, if I've gone over on stuff. But yeah, so then you add in your calories, it tells you how many you've got left, etc. And then here we've got down the bottom here, current score. So we go score details. I'm balanced. So last week I lost 3 life points. I'm more or less in the middle. Ways to improve, I could have had more berries, I could have had more water, and then it tells you sort of where all your sort of stuff is. Here's what we need to work on. Sorry, I felt like I've just been rambling, and I guess I wanted to share the things that I have learned about myself. I just thought it'd be maybe interesting if you don't even fancy buying the full version, just the stuff that I've learned along the way. This water bottle was the sort of step 1 into me drinking more water. The app also has like 2 litres a day, which by the way, if you add an exercise, which I didn't show you how to do, but it's basically the same as the food, you add an exercise and that adds more calories, and it also adds more glasses of water as well. And that depends on what you've done. And by the way, cleaning is one of them on there, which is probably my biggest one because of my job. But yeah, so having a big water bottle has been a real help for me, and that I do probably drink 2 litres of water a day, which, you know, is great. And I think, again, with sort of losing weight, often hunger, when you feel hungry, you might actually be thirsty. So if that's also something you want to work on, just being hydrated, having good skin, more water, my friends. I guess another thing that I've learned is I wasn't as healthy as I thought I was. So I mentioned that you take that quiz at the beginning and you get your initial life score. I sort of thought, you know, I'm not unhealthy. As I mentioned, you know, I'm a vegan, and when I eat at home, like what I cook's fairly healthy. Like I don't own like a deep fat fryer or or really anything like that. I felt like I was quite balanced and quite good, so I couldn't really understand why I was putting weight on. Little did I know, maybe I wasn't as healthy as I thought I was. One thing this has told me is I eat a hell of a lot of processed food. So I guess what their weight loss scheme is based around is a larger dinner and smaller breakfast and lunch, as well as a focus on whole grains and whole foods and avoiding more processed stuff, and also it being more low fat is where their sort of angle is coming from. And as I've mentioned, it has worked for me. I've lost a stone, that's mental. I wasn't as healthy as I thought I was. I think that in part was, I guess, maybe to not make myself feel bad and to keep on merrily eating utter shite more regularly than I'd like to admit. As I mentioned when I did take that quiz, I think a lot of it is down to my social life, which I don't think has suffered from this, because I just make, I guess, better informed choices when I am out. Like whether it's, hey, do I really need the loaded fries and the burger when I just got the burger, or the loaded fries, you know, depending on, you know, what I'm doing. And also if I know that I'm going out for food later in the day, like I won't eat as much throughout the day. First week of putting stuff in really was a wake-up call that actually, and even when you're entering it in, you go, oh shit, like that's a lot of stuff. And also like the weights and portion control. Portion control is probably one of my bigger tips as well. I don't think you realise like how, when it sort of says like, oh, you know, 30 gram servings, you're like, yeah, and you actually end up with like a 60 gram serving of like cereal or whatever, crisps or whatever. Oh, I'm getting on a fucking crisps later. I just think it really helped me realise how much food I was eating quantity wise, and it really got me to sort of consider the empty calories that I was eating, because I guess this will move quite nicely onto my next tip, which is crisps are terrible and marketing is everything. So I guess talking about like health food marketing, like you can get those like healthy snacks. A healthy snack is a banana, is an apple, is an orange, is a pear, is berries, is not a pack of baked not fried crisps. They're so bad, like oh my god. Do you know what was really funny is when I thought about making this video is I remember like when I was not younger, before I started this process and I saw like people lose weight, I used to be like, oh, you know, like what have you done, like what have you changed? And they're like, stopped eating crisps and chocolate. And I was there in my head like, I don't eat that many crisps and chocolate. Actually, Alice, you do eat more crisps and chocolate than you think you do. And crisps are so bad. Crisps are so bad. If you want to lose weight, don't eat crisps. Biggest fucking tip ever. It doesn't matter if they're baked not fried, it doesn't matter if they're popped, it doesn't matter if they are just your traditional crisps. Like crisps are such, it doesn't matter if they're made out of sweet potato or beetroot, they are fried in oil, they're smothered in oil. Just eat the vegetable. Oh my god. And this has been something that's like been hard for me because, again, being a vegan and liking convenient food, a packet of crisps, salty V's, paprika crisps, easy peasy, no issue. But they're terrible and they don't fill you up. And even when they say like, oh, it's only 90 calories a pack, that's not a good use of those 90 calories. And it doesn't fill you up at all. And you probably want 3 packets of crisps to fill you up with. And anyway, like when you buy the big bags, everyone says, oh yeah, portion control, gonna have a big bag of crisps. No, you don't, you eat the whole bag and you're still not full. But yeah, I think honestly, marketing is everything. Like you think something is marketed as like natural origin or yeah, baked not fried and stuff like this, when it is still crap. And that has been a hard pill for me to swallow, that hey, do you know what, actually a bunch of this stuff isn't that good for you. And I think places like Whole Foods and like health food shops, like they're full of these brands that are like, oh yeah, like we're good for you, yeah, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, maybe it's better, but it is not good. That's just been something that's been really eye-opening for me, is actually, do you know what? You know, I eat a butt ton of processed food, which, you know, isn't great for you. You see stuff packaged with neutral tones and you think, oh yeah, like this is better. Yeah, as I said, like you think it's better, which, you know, maybe it is, but it's not the best. Like when you put something in, like you get like a face rating, like, you know, when you go through the airport saying like, how do you find your experience? Or like when you go into toilets and you like click like, oh, was it happy face, was it sad face? And when you put stuff in, that has been an eye-opener. And I said like crisps is particularly the one where I've seen it. It doesn't matter if it's, you know, kettle chips, which are like hand fire roasted, it doesn't matter if they're like puffs made out of chickpeas or whatever it is. You know, it's around 100 calories a pack, right? That's usually what it works out to be. And it just feels like it's full of air. It's all empty calories. So I would just cold turkey take crisps out of the equation. Another thing in particular that I want to take, well, I want to mention again, if, as I said, like this app particularly focuses around like a low fat diet, is hummus. I'm sorry, chips and hummus, man, they were destroying me. Chips and hummus gave me the belly that I had. So with hummus, a pot of hummus, you probably eat half, if not the whole pot when you have it, realistically, don't you? Unless you get like one of those mini stacker ones. And chickpeas, although it is just, you know, ground up chickpeas, a bit of oil, a bit of lemon juice, and if you like a flavoured one, I'm a big fan of sweet chilli. The amount that you eat, or maybe not, the amount that I eat was not healthy. And yeah, just get rid of chips and hummus, man. Get rid of chips and hummus. Chips and dips, crisp and hummus, get rid, and then you'll be fine. So I literally just went to make myself a cup of coffee after finishing filming, and I don't know where I'm going to interject this. I didn't mention about me being vegan, but I feel like that's something I needed to talk about a little bit more, mainly because I feel that's also something to do with my weight loss. So for example, it was me making a cup of coffee that made me think I drink my coffee black, and with no sugar. So it's stuff like that where there are, I guess, like hidden or empty calories is something that, you know, I was already doing. But maybe it's something to mention, you know, if you're somebody who has a full spoonful of sugar, maybe have like a half spoonful, or if you drink your tea or coffee really milky, either like have less or try it black or anything like that. So I guess like me being vegan is something that, because I don't particularly, like I don't usually have like vegan cheese in the house, but I don't eat obviously dairy cheese or any dairy products. I think that's like a massive thing. Cutting out dairy for losing weight, so I think that's definitely something people should be conscious of. So even like switching to something like soy milk or oat milk or almond milk, or cutting milk out altogether. At the moment I'm really into having porridge for breakfast. So I do have milk in the house, and my boyfriend really likes oat milk lattes, which I make for him when he's here, because I love my boyfriend and my boyfriend loves oat milk. I just felt like I would interject with this little tip, which, you know, I understand that not everybody watching this video is interested in being vegan, but I guess cutting out dairy and animal products and sort of switching them up for either stuff like tofu or just more vegetables. Definitely when I initially transferred from sort of omnivore to vegetarian and vegetarian to vegan, I definitely noticed a drop in weight with those anyway as well. The big one would be dairy, I think, in regards to specific weight loss. Anyway, back to scheduled programming, wherever I decide to put this later. One thing that it's also really helped me with is snacking. When I ate at home, like, it was fairly healthy, which is true, but I would mindlessly snack. Like, I would mindlessly just like walk to the cupboard and be like, oh, I'm bored, so I'll eat, which is, you know, not ideal. And I would, you know, sometimes I'll be like, you know, sometimes if I'm at work late, like I don't eat a whole meal, like I'll skip a meal like just through the day, not intentionally like to lose weight or anything. And so I'd come home and I would snack, but like I would eat like 1,000 calories worth of snacks, and it would be on stuff like crisps, it would be on stuff like hummus, it would be on stuff like bread. Holding yourself accountable, and I think this app is a really good way of holding yourself accountable, because, you know, you can delete stuff if you're like, oh, should I eat this? Like, will this take me up on my calories? Click it and you'll see where what it does to your rating for that day, and you could then be like, oh, is this actually something I want to do? Is this an informed decision? And, you know, hey, as I said, I literally ate Papa John's yesterday. So it hasn't stopped me eating bad food. Again, I don't like that terminology because it's just whether it's nutritionally valuable or not. It hasn't stopped me doing that, but it's something that I do I'm more considered with. It hasn't stopped me going out and eating with my friends, because again, it's something that when I'm out, like, I can make my own choices on what I eat, whether it's less of something that's deep fat fried, or if it's like subbing out chips for a salad, or omitting some stuff that maybe I would have gone, yeah, fuck it, treat yourself 2019, and eat it anyway. The next steps for me would be exercise. I'm going on holiday next week, and after that I'm gonna start the couch to 5k. I've now said it on the internet, so and I'm definitely gonna sort of vlog my journey, I guess, with that, as another app which people use, and I want to sort of review that and let people know my experience with that. I feel like I should have said all this a little bit more comprehensively, but I just wanted to sit down and have a little chat and talk about the things that I've done and changed. The juice ain't worth the squeeze with a lot of it, to be honest with you. That's the best way to describe it. When you're eating a pack of crisps, eat your lunch every day, is that juice worth the squeeze? The answer's probably no. You know, if you want it as a payday treat, knock yourself out. Hey, we're all human beings, and this is something that I've done over the space of 4 months. So that's not like a rapid loss or anything. It's sort of been nice and gradual, and I know I could have been more serious with it, and I know I could have exercised more, and I know there's a bunch of other things that I could do, which I am looking to implement, you know, once I'm back off of holiday, because I'm not going to be running around Amsterdam. Maybe I could do, who knows. Maybe I should mention quickly the price of Lifesum as well. So as I said, I got it on Black Friday, which I think was something like £17.50, which is half off. So for the year, it's usually £35, which sounds like a lot of money, but I have spent way more than that on gym memberships that I haven't, when I've never attended the gym for like 6 months. If like my gym membership's £15 for 6 months, that's way over £35, which is just like a one-off payment for the year. So I personally think it's worth the £35, but as I mentioned, I think you can get something like 20% off, 30% off if you download the premium version when you initially download it. I hope this was helpful, and yeah, I guess I will share some more when there is more to talk about. Thank you so much for watching, and I shall see you soon. Bye!